running the Badlands. Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a Badlands Media special coverage event of President Trump's address to a joint session of Congress, not to be confused with the State of the Union. I am joined by my guests, Chris Paul and Ash in America. I almost said Ash in Jamaica because of the beanie, but then I realized it doesn't look very Jamaican, so never mind. But anyway, how are you guys doing?
Ash as a Rastafarian would be cool.
It would be cool.
Yeah, Ash in Jamaica. I'm good. I'm pumped about this. I hope there's surprises. A lot of people not going. All the Democrats out today. I'm not going.
Really? I read an article this morning that the plan was to show up and act mad about Trump's agenda.
I heard that too, that there's going to be noisemakers and all kinds of stuff to be disruptive, but there's a bunch of people that are posting on X that they're not going and protest.
Well, that's good.
Literally no one will miss them.
I'm okay with that.
They're all illegitimate anyway. What about, are they color coordinating?
Be interesting to see.
They're all going to wear the letter A on their shirt.
Well, they color coordinated a couple of them. Remember when they all wore white?
White, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, Diana DeGette is a representative from Colorado. She's the one that bought the Ukrainian flags that they all waved on the floor of the House when they passed the spending bill. She's not going because she is very unhappy with Trump's treatment of government employees and vulnerable peoples.
Wow. Peoples with an S.
Yeah.
It's woker that way.
This is so confusing. What's up, Ghost?
Hey, Ghost.
Nothing much, man. Wouldn't it be hilarious if we could trick these people into just rage quitting government?
Well, the Department of Education, the SEC, they're all offering buyouts now. Every agency is offering buyouts. We should offer buyouts to Congress. Yeah. I wonder if that would work.
They do love money.
Maybe he's just splitting the fake and illegitimate false reality layer of government apart from the constitutional republic. I mean, this was in 1789, March 4th was meant to be the first day of government under the Constitution. So that's an interesting anniversary. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And
happy anniversary, guys.
So perhaps Donald Trump is going to, and this is a bit of obvious date fagging, even though we're only half an hour away from it starting, but maybe we are going back to that constitutional republic on its very birthday.
Interesting. I like that thought. It's still date fagging as long as you do it ahead of time.
Yeah.
Sure. So we're still on top of it.
Is it really date fagging if you're talking just minutes into the future, though?
I think so.
As
long as you can travel from the future.
And if you're being too hopeful about what might happen, yes.
As long as it's in the name of unity, you can do whatever you want.
Get off the rug, man. Get off the rug.
Oh, man. Speaking of that, we got another epic installment of the Pam Bondi situation, and everybody has lost their minds over it.
Yes.
So I don't even know if we should bother talking about it, but we'll see.
The real question, John, is what's going on with APL. Everybody wants to know.
I actually haven't trolled her in a couple days. I bet she's feeling lonely.
I have started a thing on my show where if she is mentioned, did you ever see the movie Candyman? If you say Candyman in the mirror 3 times, then the Candyman appears. So if you say, if you mention Anna Paulina Luna in the chat, then Una Panuna Banca appears. Una Panuna Banca. Yes, just like that.
I love it.
Bloody Mary when I was a kid. If you say Bloody Mary 3 times in the mirror.
There you go. Yeah. I remember that one.
Candyman was the bees, right?
I think that's right, man. I forgot
it's
about
the bees.
but now you mentioned it. Yeah.
Okay.
You sure you're not talking about Bee Movie?
That was a great film.
Jerry Springer or Jerry Seinfeld, right?
I haven't seen it. Do you think? Okay, how much do you think it would cost to get Eddie Murphy to follow you around for a full day, and anytime Anna Paulina Luna is mentioned, he actually sings that? That would be so worthwhile to pay for that to happen.
Today on my show, I had Rumble Rants coming in just saying Anna Paulina Luna, and I briefly mused about the possibility that I might end up getting rich and my entire show would be just Una Panuna Banca over and over again. It would be the most 2025 thing ever.
Well,
Yeah.
hey, anytime we get an Anna Polina Luna rant of $10 or more, we will play that clip on this stream. Worth a shot. Let's see what happens.
What were you
This
going to
is
say,
so gay.
Ash?
Like, look at, like, oh my gosh, I just got a glimpse of JD.
It's groveling.
It's
Yeah, it
so
is
lame.
groveling.
What I was going to say was that we should set up a GoFundMe so that Eddie Murphy will follow Anna Paulina Luna around.
Yeah, that's even
And like
She walks into a room.
announcer when she walks into a
Yeah.
room.
that'd be hysterical.
What is
Yeah,
the TV told us to expect of this speech?
I don't even know. Like, there have been hints of I guess I don't know. The only hint we have from Trump himself is like big night tomorrow, which that's not saying much. He,
I will
everybody's
tell
aware
it
of
like it
$1
is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Is what he said.
so that could be anything.
Yeah.
We'll see. I expect it to be. I would say we're going the same vibe as his inauguration speech, where it's on the script, not a whole bunch of weaving like his campaign rallies. I think it'll be closer to whatever's on the teleprompter versus his own stories.
No Democrats behind him. That's a win.
Oh, that's true. Well,
Ish.
half win, maybe half a win.
Dude, you already have people doing the rant challenge.
Yeah.
Melania put out her guest list. It's on the presidential, like where they do the executive orders.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys saw that.
well, it wasn't near the executive orders. That's under presidential actions, and it was definitely not under there.
Well,
It might have
check
been
the
under
news
the,
tab, John.
It was under a different tab for sure.
You're master of your own domain, John.
Master of the White House domain. So many spelling errors. Whoever runs this count, they got to use AI. I bet they do. So many spelling errors and like punctuation errors. But yeah, this is good. Elliston Berry from Alito, Texas. Computer generated deepfakes.
So that's her thing, the Take It Down Act that she announced yesterday. She's really working hard on that legislation to. I don't really know how it's going to work. Once it's on the internet, it's forever. But sure.
Wasn't Gavin Newsom doing the same thing because of anti-Kamala Harris stuff?
I don't know. I haven't talked to Charlie Kirk today, so I don't know.
Dude, that is so ridiculous that Charlie Kirk did that. Like, what are you doing, Charlie?
Okay, this is a good one. Comparatora family.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Denard. Why does that name sound familiar? Denard.
That does sound familiar. Nucor Steel. That also sounds familiar.
So he's going to talk about steel tonight.
Yep. Oh, that's a good guess. Stephanie Diller. Traffic stop in Queens. Okay, so back the blue stuff. Haley Ferguson.
Dude, okay, so there's an article from Yahoo 15 hours ago. It says, is Nucor Corporation the worst performing large cap stock on the stock market? Interesting.
They also got Mark Fogel, the guy who just came back. The guy who he was the one found with marijuana in his bag in Russia, and they kept him as a political prisoner. And I'm not talking about the basketball player that's a dude. I'm talking about the one who was captured before him, even though that person was let free. What's the name again?
Brittany Griner.
Brittany Griner.
Griner. Yeah, who's definitely a dude. I mean, 100% a dude.
Yeah.
January Little John. Okay.
It would be disrespectful. It would be disrespectful to Brittany Griner as a man to call her her.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd agree.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We got trans agenda, crime agenda. What was the other agenda from before? Steel. Okay. Take
it down. He'll talk about because that's a guest up there.
The Russian, obviously the Russia-Ukraine war, that situation. Peyton McNabb. Yeah, so a lot of DEI stuff
Trans
so far.
Stuff.
Laken Riley, immigration. Another angel mom here. So border, steel, anti-trans stuff, law enforcement, Butler assassination attempt.
Very kind of straight down the middle in terms of establishment issues that even like the Fox News and Normie podcast set are going to be totally up to date on.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like
Did you
JD
see-
Vance wrote the speech.
Did you see Trump's
Careful.
truth about like, I don't understand why the media has everyone so whipped up, worried about Putin. He's like, worry about the gangbangers and the illegal immigrants that are raping your kids. It's like,
Yeah. I like the stuff he's been doing against Canada today because the tariffs started today and Trudeau, like, did you guys see Trudeau, what he said? I know we
He
talked
said it
about it
was
in
stupid.
our special coverage. He said it was stupid. Then he tried to appeal to the American people. Like, our war is not with you, America. It's with your leaders, your government. Okay,
Your
Justin.
country's not real.
But then Trump's on True Social being like, okay, well, you can do your reciprocal tariff, but we're going to just do ours back. So we're never going to stop tariffing you. Every time you raise it, we're going to raise it back. We are rubber and you are glue, Canada. Whatever you tariff to us, we tariff right back to you.
Nailed it. I was waiting for you to stop talking so I could do it, and you did it.
Did I? Was that what you're going to do?
Amazing, John.
Awesome.
Scooped.
Love
yeah,
it.
he definitely plagiarized that talking point from the Ayatollah as well.
Did you see them taking the Jack Daniels off the shelves? Did you see that video?
Mm-mm.
The video going. I don't understand this. They've already paid for the Jack Daniels, but it's like a stunt. I'll find it. It's like a stunt. They're just taking it off the shelves. We're not selling this anymore. Okay, so that's a complete loss for you then.
Yeah, it's like, okay. I mean, that's you don't understand how retail works, I guess.
Insane.
Canadians, silly old Canadians.
It's all good.
Yeah, here it is.
It's all in good fun. Man, we
Man.
do have a lot of Anna Polina Luna rants already.
We better kind of space them out. I mean, we got to get them in there one way
Okay.
or another.
Well, first up, we got,
Whoa. Yes.
yeah. Okay.
God.
So the Meerkat APL. We'll do two at a time, just so we don't scare away the new audience. Steph Jones 39 as well. I think I also got to skip ahead and do this one from Reberhard for $50, but this deserves more than that. I think it deserves you guys for the rants. We'll come back to read the rest of those a little bit later. Oh, Ash, what do you got here?
This is how hard Canada is being. Mhm. Take that, America.
I'm sure they will donate that to the local homeless shelter.
I don't know how we'll ever
Believe that
recover.
Did they set this thing up?
Do you notice how like physical he's being with the bottles too? He's
Yeah.
not caring at all if those
Yeah.
spill.
Yeah,
Just such little regard for our products.
probably throwing him in the back of his truck.
Yeah. I mean, one way or another, those are getting drank for sure.
So one thing I was talking about today with the Canada stuff is that they're part of the British Commonwealth. And over the last few days, we have basically at least seen with the optics that the British Commonwealth is effectively over. The king had the comedic actor from Ukraine into one of their homes, and he wore his sweatsuit to greet the king. Remember how there used to be all of that decorum, all those standards that everyone had to follow? And then Donald Trump just walked in front of the queen and
Oh my
kind of
gosh.
made the whole thing a clown show. As
What
it has been
the
ever since.
fuck?
Speaking
What
of clown
are
shows,
those retards doing?
Yes.
Sorry, Chris. Involuntary.
Those are JD Vance's guests.
Who's that on the right?
that's the
Riley
anti-trans one.
Gaines.
Yeah.
Gaines, yeah.
God, Shapiro.
But then
Should be-
yesterday at Windsor Castle, they had like 360
Or the Ramadan
Muslims
thing.
in to celebrate Ramadan. And no offense to anybody's culture or anything, but it's not the culture of Windsor Castle. Like you might
It
as
is
well
now,
just-
Chris.
Yeah. You just might as well admit that the Commonwealth is no more.
Yep. It's 100% true.
Insane.
The
We're
city
getting
of
close
London,
here.
though, the one square mile is a separate entity from
Mhm.
the nation of England and the nation of Britain.
How many standing ovations do you think we get? Like we should get like a cheerleading counter going.
Look at that
Shit.
Ukraine tie.
Yep.
Ew.
We
Nancy's
should get a
there?
counter going.
They're just keeping these people going somehow. I heard that Nancy Pelosi was like going to Oscar parties the other night. Did anybody catch wind of this?
That's
No.
hilarious.
I'm going to look it up right now.
I mean, how much formaldehyde do they have to inject in her on a daily basis to keep her going?
I don't know. I think
Wonder
when you have
if
the
her
cash she
husband-
does.
I wonder if her husband was with her and if they got hammered.
Well,
Good one.
See what
the
you did there.
husband was there. Nancy and Paul Pelosi mingle with celebrities. Vanity Fair Oscar party.
Jeez.
Hold on, let's see if we have pictures from inside. Oh, there they are. The hat.
Oh,
Oh, that was 20.
He's bringing the fedora back.
This is pre hammer.
Oh, so this isn't new.
Wait.
Oh, wow, this is 23. Yeah.
yeah.
Where's the one
that's
from this year?
2023.
Here we are. She's somewhere down in here. Oh gosh.
A dude in a dress.
I hope not.
This has become quickly problematic. All right. That's enough of that.
Okay. Well, let's go back to this. What does it say? Where social action? Is that what that says?
Somebody. Oh my gosh. She literally just took Sharpie and wrote on her suit.
Who did? Who did that?
Like what are you saying? One of those sparkle pens? Ghost?
Yeah, if you go back like 15 seconds, that like she had written like, look on the left,
and the pink on the back there. We the people.
yeah, she had like written in Sharpie.
Oh,
She took Sharpie and like wrote "We the People" or something like that on her suit.
Oh, I saw who we were just talking about when it went away.
Classy.
Yeah, everybody says Elon Musk like is doing all these weird jittery things because he's on drugs or whatever, but I think he just has a bad pillow because that's what I was suffering from. Whenever you see me do the neck stuff, it's because my neck is killing
Sure.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
is this about to be a My Pillow commercial?
Yeah, I can
Oh,
certainly
God.
make it one if you'd like me to.
Here comes-
MyPillow.com, promo code
Here
Badlands.
comes the second lady, Lindsey Graham.
Hmm.
It's fun, guys. Keep in mind, we're 10 days away from a government shutdown, and all these people are in here. This is going to be a fun dynamic to watch and see what Trump says about the budget,
Yeah.
because the timing of this is pretty interesting.
I do like the fact that we've gotten to the part of the cycle where Lindsey Graham is calling for regime change. That
Yeah.
was fun after that. This is the 7th time that I was able to find that he's called for regime change.
There's Cash. I think it's the first we've seen of him.
This is the first we've seen of him since he's been confirmed. He's been incognito.
My boy.
He's been redacting documents.
The largest desk in history with a truckload of documents on it, going through it one file at a time.
Who's the chick with the sleeve back there?
That's Mike Johnson. I have
Which
no idea who you're talking about, though.
the furry coat looking thing?
No, there's a woman with an arm sleeve of tattoos behind JD Vance's wife. There she is. You can see her in the bottom right corner with the beige dress, that right arm.
Oh,
up
yeah.
first. Yeah.
No idea.
I don't know.
Do you,
Me neither.
do you think does Trump show up with an entourage, or does he roll in solo?
That might be Corey Comparatori's family.
Could be.
Hmm.
Wouldn't
Oh,
they
sorry,
be up
what-
top though? Or was that
That-
up
that
top?
was
and
up
I
top.
just- Oh, okay. I missed it.
I think only the people in our government are allowed on the main floor of these hallowed grounds. I could be wrong,
Well.
though.
Yeah, I didn't think you were allowed to have gay sex in a Senate hearing room, but here we are. So
That's why Ben Shapiro's there.
It really is strange that those guys are there. It's like I kind of watch everything happening now and think about all of this stuff being scripted, but without Donald Trump there, and that the script is still playing out as it would have otherwise. And Trump just inserts himself into all these places. Because
you
if
think
that
about
was
it-
Ron or JD or somebody who was the president, the fake president, this would all be happening the exact same way.
Yeah, I like that line of thought. We should explore that more on one of these shows, one of these days. But if you think of who they're with, the Daily Weimar, they're with Riley Gaines, anti-trans stuff. And so it's got to be part of the anti-trans as the world's leader, as you say,
Yes.
in trans content.
Yeah. 24/7 trans content by Matt Walsh.
Oh, gaveling in. Let's get down to business.
He saw that television helped his
Oh shoot!
predecessor John F. Kennedy get elected.
Might have to find a different stream.
and
Hold
he
on,
wanted,
guys.
Lyndon Johnson.
Members of the committee on the part of the House
gonna
to
go to the
escort the President of the
never mind.
United States into the chamber, the following: the gentleman from Louisiana, Mr. Scalise; the gentleman from Minnesota, Mr. Emmer; the gentlewoman from Michigan, Mrs. McClain; the gentleman from North Carolina, Mr. Hudson; the gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Reschenthaler; the gentleman from Utah, Mr. Moore; the gentlewoman from Indiana, Mrs. Houchin; the gentleman from Oklahoma, Mr. Hearn; the gentleman from New York, Mr. Jeffries; the gentlewoman from Massachusetts, Ms. Clark; the gentleman from California, Mr. Aguilar; the gentleman from California, Mr. Liu; the gentleman from Colorado, Mr. Neguse; the gentlewoman from Washington, Ms. Delbene; the gentlewoman from Michigan, Mrs. Dingle.
The
Might-
President of the Senate,
might
at the
switch
direction of
to-
that body, appoints the following senators as members of the committee on the part of the Senate to escort the President of the United States. Mrs. Capito, the Senator from South Carolina, Mr.
Is
Scott,
the stream better?
the Senator from New York, Mr.
The
Schumer,
sound is better.
Senator from Illinois, Mr.
Yeah, sound is better.
the Senator from Minnesota, Ms. Klobuchar, the Senator from New Jersey, Mr. Booker, the Senator from Wisconsin, Ms. Baldwin.
You guys think we should
The
Pop
members
out?
of the escort committee will exit the chamber through the
Well,
lobby door.
they're going to bring these people in. Then the sergeant at arms will announce Donald Trump, and then it'll be like minute after minute after minute of cheering and handshakes and all that stuff. But
And groveling. Lots of groveling.
a lot of groveling. But at least it's
Oh, it is
at least
warranted.
groveling for Trump and not groveling for the rest of these.
Yeah.
clowns.
At least we're not seeing the binder brigade walking down. Yeah,
That
what
guy
do you
they-
expect? Go ahead.
That guy they mentioned, Joe Neguse, he is the current favorite for Colorado governor,
Oh, geez.
2026.
The goose. Interesting. I'm curious to see too. Whoever's doing the rebuttal, Slotkin.
Yep.
So, yeah, that'll be a fun one too. Oh, there she is, Anna Polina Luna.
What is she wearing?
Oh, yeah, there she
Very
is.
shimmery.
That gold jacket is comms for how she's going to get all the declassified files. And Ghost, as far as entourages go, this isn't exactly like Dana White, Kid Rock, and who else
Yeah.
they usually walk in with.
Yeah, that's right.
Wonder how many people can fit in this room. I also wonder who the designated survivor is right now.
Oh, on it.
It would be hilarious if they named Elon Musk the designated survivor.
We already saw him there though.
Yeah.
It's probably like Doug Burgum. Oh, Doug Collins.
Interesting.
Secretary of Veteran Affairs Doug Collins is this year's designated survivor, White House sources said shortly before the speech.
Interesting.
Somebody was posting, I'm sure it was BS, but that they were going to throw eggs at Trump. Somebody said that.
I feel like they wouldn't get away with that without being shot or something.
Well, that's what everyone was saying. Everyone was saying if they do this cash, you should just take them straight to jail.
What a
No
terrible
trial,
idea.
just
Have you
take 'em
seen
to
the
jail.
prices of eggs these days?
Yeah, it would be an expensive drive-by, that's for sure.
Yeah. Come on now. Ash, are you looking up the seating
I
capacity?
am, and it just keeps telling me how many members of Congress there are. There's 450 seats on the House floor. The gallery seating is another 500.
I think here we got SCOTUS coming. Oh, well, that doesn't look like SCOTUS, does it?
No.
They're looking rough if they are.
Yeah.
They also look miserable, these
I
people.
was going to say, like,
Oh,
There we go.
perk up. Like,
He looks
let's say
happy.
Smile. Can we get a smile or two out of you? Like, cheer
Roberts does not look happy. Kagan looks like a goblin.
up. Yep. As is tradition.
Interesting.
Did I miss? The
I think
African
they're all
American one?
there. Clarence Thomas or Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Well, both of them,
Ketanji.
I guess. I didn't see either of them. Did
I
you?
didn't see either
Yeah.
of them.
Maybe they're not all attending tonight.
Designated survivors of SCOTUS, too.
Do we see Sotomayor?
Nope.
Oh, I feel like I
think
should
I see
rewind.
I don't want the designated survivors of SCOTUS to be a surplus of Democrats.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I saw Kavanaugh, Roberts, and was that
Amy-
Breyer at the end? What was that? Amy Coney Barrett? Yeah.
Amy Coney Barrett was there.
Kagan, yeah.
I don't know if I saw Gorsuch either.
Nope.
That's weird. Maybe they came in a
Didn't see
different
Gorsuch.
door.
I think Alito was there.
Okay, S. Jones in the chat says for a joint session, about 950 seats.
Hmm.
So 450 plus 500, that works out exactly as I said. 500 in the gallery is a lot. I didn't realize it was that big.
That's what she
Well,
said.
I think it has to be more on the floor too, because they have all the senators and then these other quote unquote dignitaries down there as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point. What do you think they're talking about right here?
It's a good question.
Probably making sure they
So happy we don't have to look at a Democrat, though. Sorry, Chris.
No, I'm just making sure they've memorized their lines. Do you want to run it again?
Oh, I see John Hoven at the bottom. Used to
Is
play
that some
poker.
Dakota stuff?
Yeah, he's a senator from North Dakota. I used to play poker with his son.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Went to my high school, graduated together. Yeah. That was back when he was governor.
Someone said, is Robert's wife a husband? That's not Robert's wife. That's Justice Kagan. Heads up. Which is, Goblin.
What color tie is Trump wearing tonight? Red?
The tie is going to tell you a lot. If it's red, I think he's coming out hot.
I'd like to
go
see gold.
gold, though.
Gold would
Yeah.
be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed tracking.
Oh, there you go.
Cancer
Chris.
Awareness
You
Month.
called it.
It's the Pink Pussy Brigade. Yeah. So all of the meetings he's had with the foreign dignitaries in the Oval Office, he's never worn a red tie until Zelensky came in. Then he put the red tie on, and that's when he bullied him. So.
Comment from the chat from JMB says CanCon had a joint session last night.
Did you ever find a flight?
He did.
He did. I think he got on JetBlue, but that's a brutal story, man, about American Airlines just canceling the flight at the last minute for no reason.
Yep. If you guys wouldn't mind doing us a favor, if you wouldn't mind hitting that thumbs up button. For those of you new to Badlands Media, if there are any, make sure you guys hit the follow or subscribe or whatever that button is. Give us a look-see. Tune into our content. We have we're live on Substack again. I wonder how that's doing. I forgot to check. Oh, we got about 400 over there.
Nice.
Yeah. It's pretty sweet, man. They don't
Where are
let
we
you
on YouTube?
know the stats afterwards, though. That's the frustrating part. YouTube, we have 116.
Nice.
Twitter, we got 1,300. Don't know where else. We're on Kick and Pilled. Hi to you guys as well. But yeah.
Nice.
Is my Fox stream live? Oh. It wasn't, but barely. Couple gifted subscriptions. Thank you guys.
All right.
Should
I'm
we
gonna
read a
figure
couple
out
more rants? Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Chris.
go for it. I want to figure out what the pink thing is about.
I do want to read more rants, but we're just going to be doing nothing but Anna Polina Luna for the next.
Probably.
But okay, we can do a couple while we wait. Both Kansas Doll 22, worth every penny, and SAS Prague 7780 APL. And for that, we thank you. And then C Masters, will APL work? Shelty Mom 0122. Okay, we'll come back to this for a little bit. Holy cow, do we have a lot of those to do?
So
does it say?
I found the answer for the pink thing.
Solid effort on this one.
Wow.
14th Amendment, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, and pursuit of
Well,
happiness.
I will take that as confirmation that the 14th Amendment is going down soon.
Yeah.
She's like jinxing it as hard as possible.
So, Tina Peters, yesterday it was announced that the DOJ issued a statement of interest in her
Yeah.
case. Part of what they're intervening on is 14th Amendment violations,
Wow.
8th and 14th.
Based, get that whole thing done. Do it through the courts. I don't care.
She looks stunning.
Yeah, I was gonna say Melania just looking like absolute class right now, as always, as is tradition.
I wonder if the Democrats dressed in pink are applauding her. So I found it. NBC says that it's meant to signal our protest of Trump's policies, which are negatively impacting women and families.
So they dress like vaginas.
Close enough, I guess.
All right. Some of them aren't pulling it off. but I appreciate
Tattooed
the effort.
vaginas. Respect the game.
Wait, there is that Corey? Oh man.
Oh no.
I guess we'll find out later.
Oh.
Mr. Speaker, the President's Cabinet.
Fantasy team, Chris.
They replaced that poor guy. Do you think she's going to announce the president, or are they going to bring a man back?
Who is this? Security here, or what is this in the
The
front?
cabinet.
No, but this person in the front is
Yeah,
not.
but the people who like walk in the front, it's very like they seem
probably
almost
get paid.
confused.
It used to always be the Sergeant of Arms, I think, or Sergeant at Arms, I think it's called.
I don't know.
Is that a woman now?
I don't
Is it
know. Let's find
that
out.
woman?
I feel like that should have been an announcement.
Yeah.
All right, Scott Bissett is definitely Hank Hill. I think we have to just like lock that in.
He's super excited to be there.
Is the Hulkster going to be there? Because I'm pretty sure isn't he like the physical fitness guy now?
Got the whole fantasy team there, Chris.
I was hoping
Well-
no one would be wearing our cowboy hat or cowgirl hat. She's
I
not.
can't. I look back fondly on those days where everybody online would just scream all day about how important it was to get these people confirmed.
Right away. They got to get to work.
The Sergeant at Arms of the Senate and doorkeeper is Jennifer A. Hemingway.
Wow. Is she the first woman one?
I don't know.
I don't think I've ever heard a woman announce the president at the State of the Union before.
This is progress, guys. We have women sergeant at arms now. This is what America is supposed to look like.
It's a whammon.
If they all wore pink jackets, it might all be women. But that's what we need is more advancement along those lines.
Yeah, definitely. We need more women. in
Wait, so Cash
decision-making
Patel-
roles.
He's technically not part of the cabinet.
No.
No, Pam
Oh.
Bondi is the member of the cabinet over that
Oh, that's
branch of the
duh.
government.
Duh. That's a great point.
Yeah, the cabinet is the direct reports
Yeah.
of the president. And Cash reports to the deputy AG.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, we probably got like 45 minutes of this yet. So
Well, it looks like it's a pretty full house. I mean, all these people said they weren't going to go, but looks pretty full to me.
yeah.
You weren't missed.
Has everybody in the chat got their GART tickets? Badlandsmedia.tv/events, virtual tickets. We did an exclusive live stream today, but that
That was
starts
fun.
this week. Make sure you guys get your tickets. Yeah, it was fun.
Did the Telegram link go out already?
For what?
For the GART 7 Telegram chat.
Oh, yeah, that's been active for a while now.
Okay. Real Mrs. Bright, if you're listening, can you add me to it? Because I can't find that link. And I looked.
I'll do it for you.
Oh, you can add me? Sweet. I didn't know she'd give you that kind of power.
How dare you? Okay. Now I'm wondering if I want to
Come
invite you.
on.
But yeah, I'll telegram it to you. There you go.
Thank you. That freaking Una Panuna song in my head now, Chris.
I'm gonna start.
You cannot do it without reading a rant first, or we'll never get out of here.
That was a pre-play of the rant. So the rant that's associated with that is from Eleanor 2000. So double the money, APL for $20, and C Bruns as well. At C Bruns is the comment. Thank you guys for the support. It's crazy how friendly everybody is. They're also hostile during the confirmation hearings.
It's just like it's a game of grab ass, man. Once you get in the chamber, everyone's just very handsy.
Yeah, the pink pony clubbers don't look very happy.
No.
But
That will be the most interesting dynamic of this is Trump, like, overwhelming mandate. All the fake polls are saying everybody's like in support of this agenda. You know, let's stop the corrupt, wasteful spending. And so while he's announcing that stuff and the Republicans are all standing and cheering, we're to expect that the Democrats are just going to sit in silence and be upset about the cutting of wasteful government spending. Like that'll be pretty fun to watch.
I'm with you on that.
these two look disorganized.
Given
Papers all
the
over the place, confused.
given the last minute nature of this, we have to hedge. We got to hedge bets here. It would be pretty awesome if Trump pulled a sword dance here. And
What do you mean last minute nature of this?
Didn't he announce this like 3 days ago? Didn't he say he was going to do this?
The invite was like a month ago or something.
Yeah. Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I missed that. Well,
but anyway,
still,
what do you mean by
it would
sword
be
dance?
great. It'd be great if he did a sword dance bit and just said, "Hey, I've impaneled a corruption committee. Good luck." And the arrests begin.
It'd be pretty badass, but I doubt that's going to happen here.
I highly doubt it's going to happen, but you got to hedge.
So who do you think of the cabinet has the best day one? Because Linda McMahon declared she's ending the Department of Education on day one. I think that's pretty solid. But someone came in with a huge amount of firings, but that's not ending a whole department.
Well, a lot of the initial wave of firings were done by the acting people.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, it is pretty base to like come into office and be like, "Here, hey everybody, employees of mine, our mission is to end this place.
Final mission.
Yeah, our final mission. We shall not be defeated."
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's leading for sure, I think.
It's hard to beat that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, we do have a pretty interesting question from the chat right now. A Rumble rant. It's from Partisan Pig. So I'm considering going to GART in person, but I'm recently single and need a new wife. I need a guarantee that I can have a GART wife to go in person. Can I get a guarantee? And I don't know if I'm allowed to answer that. So I feel like, Ash, you should probably be the one to.
We're going to guarantee he's going to find his wife at GART. This feels like a terrible idea full of lots of legal liability.
But we need to somehow get him to buy the ticket while not having the legal liability aspect. So,
well, his GART wife is probably somewhere in the chat right now.
You'll never know if you don't come.
Yeah. Yeah. And the friends you'll make along the way, whether or not you end up with a GART wife, will be worth it.
Yeah.
Plus, it's Vegas, and it's not like GART is. It's not like GART is 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you were going to say that it's Vegas. You might get married. You might leave with the GART wife. Yeah,
that's also possible.
And Gordon, I thought you were going to say, "Wait, it's not 24 hours a day."
Well, that too.
Are we literally waiting for these people who all work together and see each other all the time to finish talking to each other, or were they waiting on Trump to come in? Like, what's the?
They're waiting on Trump.
I think they're probably waiting on Trump.
It's 7:12.
I feel like Trump would probably be waiting on these people to go through the line here.
No.
Yeah, that's why it's going to take even more long.
Kings
Even
don't wait
longer.
for kings
Even
don't
more
wait for
long.
these people.
Even more longer, because he's going to walk through and everybody's going to stop him and they're all going to get their picture and it's going to take forever.
Oh yeah. It's already 9:15 basically on the East Coast.
Yeah.
He's probably going to speak for an hour and a half to 2 hours. That would be pretty awesome, actually, if he just kept going and saying terrible things to all these terrible people.
Just
That'd
kept
be
them up
dope,
all
man.
night.
Yeah, yeah.
Hour 4.
Force them to sit there and just watch it the entire time.
Yeah.
While we wait, somebody had a question about what is GART. GART is the Great American Restoration Tour, in which you can in-person tickets or virtual tickets. Oh,
Yeah.
and we're back to
Mr. Speaker
Oh,
of the United States.
what happened to the girl?
let's go.
Purple tie. That's the same tie I think he wore at the inauguration.
Yep.
This is a photo op for every person that grabs his attention.
Yep.
And they're saying these things, understanding that the comments are being recorded.
I think that's a great point that people need to understand. Like, Congress has now become just social media influencers. Like, all they do is get their clips from social media.
Look, on the right
at
side.
that.
Yeah.
You see that? Yeah.
Sorry, John. But yeah, that lady right there is holding a sign that says, "This is not normal." And hey, if this isn't normal, then great. Let's go back to the constitutional republic and get rid of this garbage nonsense that we have.
Yeah.
What's not normal? This seems very normal to me. This is what they do.
That's one of their slogans about
Yeah.
what's happening.
Is that like we're weird? Remember when they
Yes,
tried
yeah,
to,
yeah,
to
yeah.
make that take off?
Yeah, that all of this is out of bounds. Everything that Trump does is somehow illegal or unconstitutional or immoral, even though it's none of those things. So they have to figure out some other way to describe it, and they came up with "this is not normal." I guess
That was
aren't these the
interesting.
people that don't want? Wasn't the whole thing about the gender thing is they don't want to be normative about their standards?
You're not allowed to say normal. Normal is a bad word.
Did you see Nancy Mace try to go hug
suggest.
Trump, and Trump like grabbed her hand and not allowed her to hug him?
Wait, did he do like the face move?
Look at this, Chip Roy stepping out and trying to get all the attention.
Yep.
Uh,
God, this is the groveling we were talking about.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Full grovel.
And almost all these people would definitely shiv him in the back if they had the opportunity.
Well, right now he's
for a
talking to
bump.
his cabinet members. Like
Yeah,
they
that's
can do
true.
that anytime.
Yeah.
I want to see that Nancy Mace thing. I missed it.
Missed it? Okay, I'll see if I can find it.
To the person looking for a wife, Monty 710 says Vegas has a lot of trannies that have better figures than most women, so be careful.
Wow.
And it's pretty solid advice.
It's like
Also, if you do find a wife, I can marry you. I'm a reverend.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
they
true.
were talking about that too in the chat, John.
We are doing a wedding on Saturday, so we
Okay,
can.
I'm gonna switch to another screen here real quick just to show you the Nancy Mace part.
Ah,
See that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you dare
Handshake,
touch me.
handshake.
All of these people are so unserious.
Yeah. Is Raising Cane here, or is he on a battlefield somewhere?
That'd be pretty awesome. Oh gosh.
Well, guys, he's approaching the podium. We're gonna get out of here, and we'll be back afterwards for our post coverage. So we'll see you guys in a little bit.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a great honor. Thank you very much. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, the First Lady of the United States, members of the United States Congress, thank you very much. And to my fellow citizens, America is back. 6 weeks ago, I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country. We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started. I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before. The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again. There's never been anything like it. The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes. We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country. And won counties in our country, 2,700 to 525, but a map that reads almost completely red for Republican. Now, for the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever. Likewise, Small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning. Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant at Arms to restore order to the joint session. Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant at Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber. Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Thank you. Over the past 6 weeks, I have signed nearly 100 executive orders and taken more than 400 executive actions, a record to restore common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth all across our wonderful land. The people elected me to do the job, and I'm doing it. In fact, it has been stated by many that the first month of our presidency, it's our presidency, is the most successful in the history of our nation. By many. And what makes it even more impressive is that, do you know who number 2 is? George Washington. How about that? How about that? I don't know about that list, but we'll take it. Within hours of taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and Border Patrol to repel the invasion of our country. And what a job they've done. As a result, illegal border crossings last month were by far the lowest ever recorded, ever. They heard my words and they chose not to come. Much easier that way. In comparison, under Joe Biden, the worst president in American history, there were hundreds of thousands of illegal crossings a month, and virtually all of them, including murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and people from mental institutions and insane asylums, were released into our country. Who would want to do that? This is my 5th such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way. So Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again. Every day, my administration is fighting to deliver the change America needs to bring a future that America deserves, and we're doing it. This is a time for big dreams and bold action. Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid. I terminated the ridiculous Green New Scam. I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord, which was costing us trillions of dollars that other countries were not paying. I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization. And I also withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council. We ended all of Biden's environmental restrictions that were making our country far less safe and totally unaffordable. And importantly, we ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from economic destruction. To unshackle our economy, I have directed that for every one new regulation, 10 old regulations must be eliminated, just like I did in my very successful first term. And in that first term, we set records on ending unnecessary rules and regulations like no other president had done before. We ordered all federal workers to return to the office. They will either show up for work in person or be removed from their job. And we've ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good. Not too good. And I have stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back. And 2 days ago, I signed an order making English the official language of the United States of America. I renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. And likewise, I renamed, for a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again. Beautiful Alaska. We love Alaska. We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military. And our country will be woke no longer. We believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender. Very important. You should be hired based on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. We have removed the poison of critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female. I also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports. Three years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose all federal funding. And if you really want to see numbers, just take a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long-distance race 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman for a new record by 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours. It's demeaning for women, and it's very bad for our country. We're not going to put up with it any longer. What I have just described is only a small fraction of the common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire world. Common sense has become a common theme, and we will never go back. Never, ever going to let that happen. Among my very highest priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief to working families. As you know, we inherited from the last administration an economic catastrophe and an inflation nightmare. Their policies drove up energy prices, pushed up grocery costs, and drove the necessities of life out of reach for millions and millions of Americans. They've never had anything like it. We suffered the worst inflation in 48 years, but perhaps even in the history of our country. They're not sure. As president, I'm fighting every day to reverse this damage and make America affordable again. Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control, and we're working hard to get it back down. Secretary, do a good job on that. You inherited a total mess from the previous administration. Do a good job. A major focus of our fight to defeat inflation is rapidly reducing the cost of energy. The previous administration cut the number of new oil and gas leases by 95%, slowed pipeline construction to a halt, and closed more than 100 power plants. We are opening up many of those power plants right now. And frankly, we have never seen anything like it. That's why on my first day in office, I declared a national energy emergency. As you've heard me say many times, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth, and by far. And now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill. My administration is also working on a gigantic natural gas pipeline in Alaska, among the largest in the world, where Japan, South Korea, and other nations want to be our partner with investments of trillions of dollars each. There's never been anything like that one. It will be truly spectacular. It's all set to go. The permitting is gotten. And later this week, I will also take historic action to dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA. To further combat inflation, we will not only be reducing the cost of energy, but will be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars. And to that end, I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Perhaps you've heard of it. Perhaps. Which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight. Thank you, Elon. He's working very hard. He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it, I believe. They just don't want to admit that. Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender. This is real. $32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique. $20 million for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. It's a program. $20 million for a program. $1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her? A $3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate developer. He's done very well. $250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation in Zambia. $42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning. I don't know what we're doing. We should use it ourselves. And $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education, the most ever paid, nothing even like it. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people, headed up by Elon, and we appreciate it. We found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud. And we've taken back the money and reduced our debt to fight inflation and other things. Taking back a lot of that money. We got it just in time. This is just the beginning. The Government Accountability Office, a federal government office, has estimated annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation, and we are working very hard to stop it. We're going to. We're also identifying shocking levels of incompetence and probable fraud in the Social Security program for our seniors, and that our seniors and people that we love rely on. Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109 years old. It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know any of them. I know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly. 3.47 million people from ages 120 to 129. 3.9 million people from ages 130 to 139. 3.5 million people from ages 140 to 149. And money is being paid to many of them. And we're searching right now. In fact, Pam, good luck. Good luck. You're going to find it. But a lot of money is paid out to people because it just keeps getting paid and nobody does. And it really hurts Social Security and hurts our country. 1.3 million people from ages 150 to 159, and over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old. We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby. Including, to finish, 1,039 people between the ages of 220 and 229, one person between the age of 240 and 249, and one person is listed at 360 years of age. More than 100 years older than our country. But we're going to find out where that money's going, and it's not going to be pretty. By slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft we can find, we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American families. And today, interest rates took a beautiful drop, big, beautiful drop. It's about time. And in the near future, I want to do what has not been done in 24 years, balance the federal budget. We're going to balance it. With that goal in mind, we have developed in great detail what we are calling the Gold Card, which goes on sale very, very soon. For $5 million, we will allow the most successful job-creating people from all over the world to buy a path to U.S. citizenship. It's like the green card, but better and more sophisticated. And these people will have to pay tax in our country. They won't have to pay tax from where they came. The money that they've made, you wouldn't want to do that, but they have to pay tax, create jobs. They'll also be taking people out of colleges and paying for them so that we can keep them in our country instead of having them being forced out. Number one, at the top school, as an example, being forced out and not being allowed to stay and create tremendous numbers of jobs and great success for a company out there. So while we take out the criminals, killers, traffickers, and child predators who are allowed to enter our country under the open border policy of these people, the Democrats, the Biden administration, the open border insane policies that you've allowed to destroy our country, we will now bring in brilliant, hardworking, job-creating people. They're going to pay a lot of money, and we're going to reduce our debt with that money. Americans have given us a mandate for bold and profound change. For nearly 100 years, the federal bureaucracy has grown until it has crushed our freedoms, ballooned our deficits, and held back America's potential in every possible way. The nation founded by pioneers and risk takers now drowns under millions and millions of pages of regulations and debt. Approvals that should take 10 days to get instead take 10 years, 15 years, and even 20 years before you're rejected. Meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy, and we will restore true democracy to America again. And any federal bureaucrat who resists this change will be removed from office immediately. Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over. And the next phase of our plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in there, they're waiting for you to vote. And I'm sure that the people on my right, I don't mean the Republican right, but my right here, I'm sure you're going to vote for those tax cuts, because otherwise I don't believe the people will ever vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by telling you that. But I know this group is going to be voting for the tax. Thank you. It's a very, very big part of our plan. We had tremendous success in our first term with it. A very big part of our plan. We're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board. And to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation, I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors. And I also want to make interest payments on car loans tax deductible, but only if the car is made in America. And by the way, we're going to have growth in the auto industry like nobody's ever seen. Plants are opening up all over the place. Deals are being made. Never seen. That's a combination of the election win and tariffs. It's a beautiful word, isn't it? That, along with our other policies, will allow our auto industry to absolutely boom. It's going to boom. Spoke to the majors today, all three, the top people, and they're so excited. In fact, already numerous car companies have announced that they will be building massive automobile plants in America, with Honda just announcing a new plant in Indiana, one of the largest anywhere in the world. And this has taken place since our great victory on November 5th, a date which will hopefully go down as one of the most important in the history of our country. In addition, as part of our tax cuts, we want to cut taxes on domestic production and all manufacturing. And just as we did before, we will provide 100% expensing. It will be retroactive to January 20th, 2025. And it was one of the main reasons why our tax cuts were so successful in our first term, giving us the most successful economy in the history of our country. First term. We had a great first term. If you don't make your product in America, however, under the Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one. Other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries. On average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Canada, have you heard of them? And countless other nations charge us tremendously higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair. India charges us auto tariffs higher than 100%. China's average tariff on our products is twice what we charge them. And South Korea's average tariff is 4 times higher. Think of that, 4 times higher. And we give so much help militarily and in so many other ways to South Korea. But that's what happens. This is happening by friend and foe. This system is not fair to the United States and never was. And so on April 2nd, I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to be accused of April Fool's Day. That's not, just one day was cost us a lot of money. But we're going to do it in April. I'm a very superstitious person. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth. Whatever they tax us, we will tax them. If they do non-monetary tariffs to keep us out of their market, then we will do non-monetary barriers to keep them out of our market. There's a lot of that, too. They don't even allow us in their market. We will take in trillions and trillions of dollars and create jobs like we have never seen before. I did it with China and I did it with others, and the Biden administration couldn't do anything about it because there was so much money they couldn't do anything about it. We have been ripped off for decades by nearly every country on earth, and we will not let that happen any longer. Much has been said over the last 3 months about Mexico and Canada, but we have very large deficits with both of them. But even more importantly, they've allowed fentanyl to come into our country at levels never seen before, killing hundreds of thousands of our citizens and many very young, beautiful people, destroying families. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. They are, in effect, receiving subsidies of hundreds of billions of dollars. We pay subsidies to Canada and to Mexico of hundreds of billions of dollars, and the United States will not be doing that any longer. We're not going to do it any longer. Thanks to our America First policies we're putting into place, we have had $1.7 trillion of new investment in America in just the past few weeks. The combination of the election and our economic policies that people of SoftBank, one of the most brilliant anywhere in the world, announced a $200 billion investment. OpenAI and Oracle, Larry Ellison, announced $500 billion investment, which they wouldn't have done if Kamala had won. Apple announced $500 billion investment. Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast enough. It's going to be much higher than that, I believe. They'll be building their plants here instead of in China. And just yesterday, Taiwan Semiconductor, the biggest in the world, most powerful in the world, has a tremendous amount, 97% of the market, announced a $165 billion investment to build the most powerful chips on earth right here in the USA. And we're not giving them any money. Your CHIPS Act is a horrible, horrible thing. We give hundreds of billions of dollars, and it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't spend it. All that meant to them, we're giving them no money. All that was important to them was they didn't want to pay the tariffs, so they came and they're building, and many other companies are coming. We don't have to give them money. We just want to protect our businesses and our people. And they will come because they won't have to pay tariffs if they build in America. So it's very amazing. You should get rid of the CHIP Act, and whatever's left over, Mr. Speaker, you should use it to reduce debt or any other reason you want to. Our new trade policy will also be great for the American farmer. I love the farmer. Who will now be selling into our home market, the USA, because nobody is going to be able to compete with you. because there's goods that come in from other countries and companies. They're really in a bad position in so many different ways. They're uninspected. They may be very dirty and disgusting, and they come in and they pour in and they hurt our American farmers. The tariffs will go on agricultural product coming into America, and our farmers starting on April 2nd. It may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China, $50 billion of purchases. And I said, just bear with me. And they did. They did. Probably have to bear with me again. And this will be even better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases. And we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it. And it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to our farmers, have a lot of fun. I love you too. I love you too. It's all going to happen. And I have also imposed a 25% tariff on foreign aluminum, copper, lumber, and steel, because if we don't have, as an example, steel and lots of other things, we don't have a military, and frankly, we just won't have a country very long. Here today is a proud American steelworker, fantastic person from Decatur, Alabama. Jeff Denard has been working at the same steel plant for 27 years in a job that has allowed him to serve as the captain of his local volunteer fire department, raise 7 children with his beautiful wife, Nicole, and over the years provide a loving home for more than 40 foster children. So great, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Stories like Jeff's remind us that tariffs are not just about protecting American jobs. They're about protecting the soul of our country. Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that. It won't be much. No, you're not. Oh. And look where Biden took us, very low, the lowest we've ever been. Jeff, I want to thank you very much. And I also want to recognize another person who has devoted herself to foster care community. She works so hard on it. A very loving person, our magnificent First Lady of the United States. Melania's work has yielded incredible results, helping prepare our nation's future leaders as they enter the workforce. Our First Lady is joined by 2 impressive young women, very impressive. Haley Ferguson, who benefited from the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative and is poised to complete her education and become a teacher. And Elliston Berry, who became a victim of an illicit deepfake image produced by a peer. With Elliston's help, the Senate just passed the Take It Down Act, and this is so important. Thank you very much, John. John Thune, thank you. Stand up, John. Thank you, John. Thank you all very much. Thank you. And thank you to John Thune and the Senate. Great job. To criminalize the publication of such images online is terrible, terrible thing. And once it passes the House, I look forward to signing that bill into law. Thank you. And I'm going to use that bill for myself, too, if you don't mind. Because nobody gets treated worse than I do online. Nobody. That's great. Thank you very much to the Senate. Thank you. But if we truly care about protecting Americans' children, no step is more crucial than securing America's borders. Over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were murderers, human traffickers, gang members, and other criminals from the streets of dangerous cities all throughout the world. Because of Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open border policies, they are now strongly embedded in our country, but we are getting them out and getting them out fast. And I want to thank Tom Homan and Christy. I want to thank you and Paul of Border Patrol. I want to thank you. What a job they've all done. Everybody, Border Patrol, ICE, law enforcement in general is incredible. We have to take care of our law enforcement. Have to. Last year, a brilliant 22-year-old nursing student named Laken Riley, the best in her class, admired by everybody, went out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia. That morning, Laken was viciously attacked, assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and horrifically murdered. Laken was stolen from us by a savage illegal alien gang member who was arrested while trespassing across Biden's open southern border and then set loose into the United States under the heartless policies of that failed administration. It was indeed a failed administration. He had then been arrested and released in a Democrat-run sanctuary city, a disaster, before ending the life of this beautiful young angel. With us this evening are Laken's beloved mother, Allison, and her sister, Lauren. Last year, I told Laken's grieving parents that we would ensure their daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety. It's a very strong, powerful act. It's called the Laken-Riley Act. So Allison and Lauren, America will never, ever forget our beautiful Laken Hope Riley. Thank you very much. Since taking office, my administration has launched the most sweeping border and immigration crackdown in American history, and we quickly achieved the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers ever recorded. Thank you. The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president. Thank you. Joe Biden didn't just open our borders, he flew illegal aliens over them to overwhelm our schools, hospitals, and communities throughout the country. Entire towns like Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, buckled under the weight of the migrant occupation and corruption like nobody's ever seen before. Beautiful towns destroyed. Now, just as I promised in my inaugural address, we are achieving the great liberation of America. But there still is much work to be done. Here tonight is a woman I have gotten to know, Alexis Nungari from Houston. Wonderful woman. Last June, Alexis's 12-year-old daughter, her precious Jocelyn, walked to a nearby convenience store. She was kidnapped, tied up, assaulted for 2 hours under a bridge, and horrifically murdered. Arrested and charged with this heinous crime are 2 illegal alien monsters from Venezuela, released into America by the last administration through their ridiculous open border. The death of this beautiful 12-year-old girl and the agony of her mother and family touched our entire nation greatly. Alexis, I promised that we would always remember your daughter, your magnificent daughter, and earlier tonight, I signed an order keeping my word to you. One thing I have learned about Jocelyn is that she loved animals so much. She loved nature. Across Galveston Bay, from where Jocelyn lived in Houston, you will find a magnificent national wildlife refuge, a pristine, peaceful, 34,000-acre sanctuary for all of God's creatures on the edge of the Gulf of America. Alexis, moments ago, I formally renamed that refuge in loving memory of your beautiful daughter, Jocelyn. So, Mr. Vice President, if you would, may I have the order? Thank you very much. All 3 savages charged with Jocelyn and Lakin's murders were members of the Venezuelan prison gang, the toughest gang, they say, in the world, known as Tren de Aragua. 2 weeks ago, I officially designated this gang, along with MS-13 and the bloodthirsty Mexican drug cartels, as foreign terrorist organizations. They are now officially in the same category as ISIS, and that's not good for them. Countless thousands of these terrorists were welcomed into the U.S. by the Biden administration. But now every last one will be rounded up and forcibly removed from our country, or, if they're too dangerous, put in jails, standing trial in this country, because we don't want them to come back ever. With us this evening is a warrior on the front lines of that battle, Border Patrol Agent Roberto Ortiz. Great guy. In January, Roberto and another agent were patrolling by the Rio Grande near an area known as Cartel Island. Doesn't sound too nice to me. When heavily armed gunmen started shooting at them. Roberto saw that his partner was totally exposed, at great danger, and he leapt into action, returning fire and providing crucial seconds for his fellow agent to seek safety, just barely. I have some of the prints of that event, and it was not good. Agent Ortiz, we salute you for your great courage and for your line of fire that you took and for the bravery that you showed. We honor you, and we will always honor you. Thank you, Roberto, very much. Thank you, Roberto. And I actually got to know him on my many calls to the border. He's a great gentleman. The territory to the immediate south of our border is now dominated entirely by criminal cartels that murder, rape, torture, and exercise total control. They have total control over a whole nation, posing a grave threat to our national security. The cartels are waging war in America, and it's time for America to wage war on the cartels, which we are doing. Five nights ago, Mexican authorities, because of our tariff policies being imposed on them, think of this, handed over to us 29 of the biggest cartel leaders in their country. That has never happened before. They want to make us happy. First time ever. But we need Mexico and Canada to do much more than they've done, and they have to stop the fentanyl and drugs pouring into the USA. They're going to stop it. I have sent Congress a detailed funding request laying out exactly how we will eliminate these threats to protect our homeland and complete the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than current record holder, President Dwight D. Eisenhower, a moderate man, but someone who believed very strongly in borders. Americans expect Congress to send me this funding without delay so I can sign it into law. So, Mr. Speaker, John Thune, both of you, I hope you're going to be able to do that, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Mr. Leader, thank you. Thank you very much. And let's get it to me. I'll sign it so fast, you won't even believe it. And as we reclaim our sovereignty, we must also bring back law and order to our cities and towns. In recent years, our justice system has been turned upside down by radical left lunatics. Many jurisdictions virtually ceased enforcing the law against dangerous repeat offenders while weaponizing law enforcement against political opponents like me. My administration has acted swiftly and decisively to restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law, starting at the FBI and the DOJ. Pam, good luck. Cash, wherever you may be, good luck. Good luck. Pam Bondi. Good luck. So important. Going to do a great job. Cash, thank you. Thank you, Cash. They've already started very strong. They're going to do a fantastic job. You're going to be very proud of them. We're also once again giving our police officers the support, protection, and respect they so dearly deserve. They have to get it. They have such a hard, dangerous job, but we're going to make it less dangerous. The problem is the bad guys don't respect the law, but they're starting to respect it, and they soon will respect it. This also includes our great fire departments throughout the country. Our firemen and women are unbelievable people, and we'll never forget them. And besides that, they voted for me in record numbers, so I have no choice. One year ago this month, 31-year-old New York police officer Jonathan Diller, unbelievably wonderful person and a great officer, was gunned down at a traffic stop on Long Island. I went to his funeral. The vicious criminal charged with his murder had 21 prior arrests, and they were rough arrests, too. He was a real bad one. The thug in the seat next to him had 14 prior arrests and went by the name of Killer. He was Killer. He killed other people, they say, a lot of them. I attended Officer Diller's service, and when I met his wife and one-year-old son, Ryan, it was very inspirational, actually. His widow's name is Stephanie, and she is here tonight. Stephanie, thank you very much, Stephanie. Thank you very much. Stephanie, we're going to make sure that Ryan knows his dad was a true hero, New York's finest. And we're going to get these cold-blooded killers and repeat offenders off our streets, and we're going to do it fast. Got to stop it. They get out with 28 arrests. They push people into subway trains. They hit people over the head, back of the head with baseball bats. We got to get them out of here. I've already signed an executive order requiring a mandatory death penalty for anyone who murders a police officer. And tonight I'm asking Congress to pass that policy into permanent law. I'm also asking for a new crime bill getting tough on repeat offenders while enhancing protections for America's police officers so they can do their jobs without fear of their lives being totally destroyed. They don't want to be killed. We're not going to let them be killed. Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer. But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago. Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer, actually a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service. Thank you, DJ. DJ's doctors believe his cancer likely came from a chemical he was exposed to when he was younger. Since 1975, rates of child cancer have increased by more than 40%. Reversing this trend is one of the top priorities for our new presidential commission to make America healthy again, chaired by our new Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy, Jr. With the name Kennedy, you would have thought everybody over here would have been cheering. How quickly they forget. Our goal is to get toxins out of our environment, poisons out of our food supply, and keep our children healthy and strong. As an example, not long ago, and you can't even believe these numbers, 1 in 10,000 children had autism, 1 in 10,000. And now it's 1 in 36. There's something wrong. 1 in 36. Think of that. So we're going to find out what it is, and there's nobody better than Bobby and all of the people that are working with you. You have the best to figure out what is going on. Okay, Bobby, good luck. It's a very important job. Thank you. Good job. Thank you. My administration is also working to protect our children from toxic ideologies in our schools. A few years ago, January Littlejohn and her husband discovered that their daughter's school had secretly socially transitioned their 13-year-old little girl. Teachers and administrators conspired to deceive January and her husband while encouraging her daughter to use a new name and pronouns. They, them pronoun, actually, all without telling January, who is here tonight and is now a courageous advocate against this form of child abuse. January, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Stories like this are why, shortly after taking office, I signed an executive order banning public schools from indoctrinating our children with transgender ideology. I also signed an order to cut off all taxpayer funding to any institution that engages in the sexual mutilation of our youth. And now I want Congress to pass a bill permanently banning and criminalizing sex changes on children and forever ending the lie that any child is trapped in the wrong body. This is a big lie. And our message to every child in America is that you are perfect exactly the way God made you. Because we're getting wokeness out of our schools and out of our military, and it's already out, and it's out of our society. We don't want it. Wokeness is trouble. Wokeness is bad. It's gone. It's gone. And we feel so much better for it, don't we? Don't we feel better? Our service members won't be activists and ideologues. They will be fighters and warriors. They will fight for our country. And Pete, congratulations. Secretary of Defense, congratulations. And he's not big into the woke movement, I can tell you. I know him well. I am pleased to report that in January, the U.S. Army had its single best recruiting month in 15 years, and that all armed services are having among the best recruiting results ever in the history of our services. What a difference. And you know, it was just a few months ago where the results were exactly the opposite. We couldn't recruit anywhere. We couldn't recruit. Now we're having the best results just about that we've ever had. What a tremendous turnaround. It's really a beautiful thing to see. People love our country again. It's very simple. They love our country and they love being in our military again. So it's a great thing. And thank you very much. Great job. Thank you. We're joined tonight by a young man, Jason Hartley, who knows the weight of that call of duty. Jason's father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all wore the uniform. Jason tragically lost his dad, who was also a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy when he was just a boy, and now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in high school, a six-letter varsity athlete, a really good athlete, they say, a brilliant student with a 4.46, that's good, GPA. And his greatest dream is to attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. And Jason, that's a very big deal getting in. That's a hard one to get into. But I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets. Thank you. Jason, you're going to be on the long gray line, Jason. As Commander-in-Chief, my focus is on building the most powerful military of the future. As a first step, I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland, all made in the USA. And Ronald Reagan wanted to do it long ago, but the technology just wasn't there, not even close. But now we have the technology. It's incredible, actually. And other places they have it. Israel has it. Other places have it. And the United States should have it too, right, Tim, right? They should have it too. So I want to thank you. But it's a very, very important. This is a very dangerous world. We should have it. We want to be protected, and we're going to protect our citizens like never before. To boost our defense industrial base, we are also going to resurrect the American shipbuilding industry, including commercial shipbuilding and military shipbuilding. And for that purpose, I am announcing tonight that we will create a new Office of Shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax incentives to bring this industry home to America where it belongs. We used to make so many ships. We don't make them anymore very much, but we're going to make them very fast, very soon. It will have a huge impact. To further enhance our national security, my administration will be reclaiming the Panama Canal, and we've already started doing it. Just today, a large American company announced they are buying both ports around the Panama Canal and lots of other things having to do with the Panama Canal and a couple of other canals. The Panama Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others, but others could use it. But it was built at tremendous cost of American blood and treasure. 38,000 workers died building the Panama Canal. They died of malaria. They died of snake bites and mosquitoes. Not a nice place to work. They paid them very highly to go there, knowing there was a 25% chance that they would die. The most expensive project also that was ever built in our country's history, if you bring it up to modern day costs. It was given away by the Carter administration for $1, but that agreement has been violated very severely. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back. And we have Marco Rubio in charge. Good luck, Marco. Now, we know who to blame if anything goes wrong. Marco's been amazing, and he's going to do a great job. Think of it. He got 100 votes. You know, he was approved with actually 99, but the 100th was this gentleman, and I feel very certain. So let's assume he got 100 votes. And I'm either very, very happy about that or I'm very concerned about it. But he's already proven. I mean, he's a great gentleman. He's respected by everybody, and we appreciate you voting for Marco. He's going to do a fantastic job. Thank you. Thank you. He's doing a great job. Great job. And I also have a message tonight for the incredible people of Greenland. We strongly support your right to determine your own future. And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security and even international security. And we're working with everybody involved to try and get it. But we need it really for international world security. And I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it. We will keep you safe. We will make you rich, and together we will take Greenland to heights like you have never thought possible before. It's a very small population, but very, very large piece of land and very, very important for military security. America is once again standing strong against the forces of radical Islamic terrorism. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan. Not that they were withdrawing, it was the way they withdrew. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Tonight, I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice. And I want to thank especially the government of Pakistan for helping arrest this monster. This was a very momentous day for those 13 families who I actually got to know very well, most of them, whose children were murdered, and the many people that were so badly, over 42 people, so badly injured on that fateful day in Afghanistan. What a horrible day. Such incompetence was shown. That when Putin saw what happened, I guess he said, wow, maybe this is my chance. That's how bad it was. Should have never happened. Grossly incompetent people. I spoke to many of the parents and loved ones, and they're all in our hearts tonight. Just spoke to them on the phone. We had a big call. Every one of them called, and Everybody was on the line, and they did nothing but cry with happiness. They were very happy, as happy as you can be under those circumstances. Their child, brother, sister, son, daughter was killed for no reason whatsoever. In the Middle East, we're bringing back our hostages from Gaza. In my first term, we achieved one of the most groundbreaking peace agreements in generations, the Abraham Accords. And now we're going to build on that foundation to create a more peaceful and prosperous future for the entire region. A lot of things are happening in the Middle East. People have been talking about that so much lately with everything going on with Ukraine and Russia. But a lot of things are happening in the Middle East. It's a rough neighborhood, actually. I'm also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine. Millions of Ukrainians and Russians have been needlessly killed or wounded in this horrific and brutal conflict with no end in sight. The United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense with no security, with no anything. Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes. $2,000 people are being killed every single week. More than that. They're Russian young people. They're Ukrainian young people. They're not Americans, but I want it to stop. Meanwhile, Europe has sadly spent more money buying Russian oil and gas than they have spent on defending Ukraine by far. Think of that. They've spent more buying Russian oil and gas than they have defending. And we've spent perhaps $350 billion, like taking candy from a baby. That's what happened. And they've spent $100 billion. What a difference that is. And we have an ocean separating us, and they don't. But we're getting along very well with them, and lots of good things are happening. Biden has authorized more money in this fight than Europe has spent by billions and billions of dollars. It's hard to believe that they wouldn't have stopped it and said at some point, come on, let's equalize. You got to be equal to us. But that didn't happen. Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful? It's time to stop this madness. It's time to halt the killing. It's time to end this senseless war. If you want to end wars, you have to talk to both sides. Nearly 4 years ago, amid rising tensions, a history teacher named Mark Fogel was detained in Russia and sentenced to 14 years in a penal colony. Rough stuff. The previous administration barely lifted a finger to help him. They knew he was innocent, but they had no idea where to begin. But last summer, I promised his 95-year-old mother, Malphine, that we would bring her boy safely back home. After 22 days in office, I did just that, and they are here tonight. To Mark and his great mom, we are delighted to have you safe and sound and with us. As fate would have it, Mark Fogel was born in a small rural town in Butler, Pennsylvania. Have you heard of it? Where his mother has lived for the past 78 years. I just happened to go there last July 13th for a rally. That was not pleasant. And that is where I met his beautiful mom right before I walked onto that stage. And I told her I would not forget what she said about her son. And I never did I? Never forgot. Less than 10 minutes later, at that same rally, gunfire rang out, and a sick and deranged assassin unloaded 8 bullets from his sniper's perch into a crowd of many thousands of people. My life was saved by a fraction of an inch, but some were not so lucky. Corey Comparator was a firefighter, a veteran, a Christian, a husband, a devoted father, and above all, a protector. When the sound of gunshots pierced the air, it was a horrible sound. Corey knew instantly what it was and what to do. He threw himself on top of his wife and daughters and shielded them from the bullets with his own body. Corey was hit really hard. You know the story from there. He sacrificed his life to save theirs. 2 others, very fine people, were also seriously hit. But thankfully, with the help of 2 great country doctors, we thought they were gone and they were saved. So those doctors had great talent. We're joined by Corey's wife, Helen, who was his high school sweetheart, and their 2 beloved daughters, Allison and Kaylee. Thank you. To Helen, Allison, and Kaylee, Corey is looking down on his 3 beautiful ladies right now, and he is cheering you on. He loves you. He is cheering you on. Corey was taken from us much too soon, but his destiny was to leave us all with a shining example of the selfless devotion of a true American patriot. It was love like Corey's that built our country, and it's love like Corey's that is going to make our country more majestic than ever before. I believe that my life was saved that day in Butler for a very good reason. I was saved by God to make America great again. I believe that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. From the patriots of Lexington and Concord to the heroes of Gettysburg and Normandy, from the warriors who crossed the Delaware to the trailblazers who climbed the Rockies, and from the legends who soared at Kitty Hawk to the astronauts who touched the moon, Americans have always been the people who defied all odds, transcended all dangers, made the most extraordinary sacrifices, and did whatever it took to defend our children, our country, and our freedom. And as we have seen in this chamber tonight, that same strength, faith, love, and spirit is still alive and thriving in the hearts of the American people. Despite the best efforts of those who would try to censor us, silence us, break us, destroy us, Americans are today a proud, free, sovereign, and independent nation that will always be free, and we will fight for it till death. We will never let anything happen to our beloved country, because we are a country of doers, dreamers, fighters, and survivors. Our ancestors crossed a vast ocean, strode into the unknown wilderness, and carved their fortunes from the rock and soil of a perilous and very dangerous frontier. They chased our destiny across a boundless continent. They built the railroads, laid the highways, and graced the world with American marvels like the Empire State Building, the mighty Hoover Dam, and the towering Golden Gate Bridge. They lit the world with electricity, broke free of the force of gravity, fired up the engines of American industry, vanquished the communists, fascists, and Marxists all over the world, and gave us countless modern wonders sculptured out of iron, glass, and steel. We stand on the shoulders of these pioneers who won and built the modern age, these workers who poured their sweat into the skylines of our cities, these warriors who shed their blood on fields of battle and gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. Now it is our time to take up the righteous cause of American liberty. And it is our turn to take America's destiny into our own hands and begin the most thrilling days in the history of our country. This will be our greatest era. With God's help, over the next 4 years, we are going to lead this nation even higher. And we are going to forge the freest, most advanced, most dynamic, and most dominant civilization ever to exist on the face of this earth. We are going to create the highest quality of life, build the safest and wealthiest and healthiest and most vital communities anywhere in the world. We are going to conquer the vast frontiers of science, and we are going to lead humanity into space and plant the American flag on the planet Mars and even far beyond. And through it all, we are going to rediscover the unstoppable power of the American spirit. And we are going to renew unlimited promise of the American dream. Every single day, we will stand up and we will fight, fight, fight for the country our citizens believe in and for the country our people deserve. My fellow Americans, get ready for an incredible future, because the golden age of America has only just begun. It will be like nothing that has ever been seen before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
All right, everybody. Not gonna lie, that was pretty boilerplate, if you ask me.
Totally boilerplate.
Yeah. A couple good moments. We probably won't analyze this too long. I know Eye of the Storm is live right now, and I don't want to necessarily compete with them.
I got 95 standing ovations.
Geez, you were actually keeping track.
Yeah, I did the hash marks every time.
Wow.
I might have missed some, but I didn't do it if the guys behind him didn't stand up. I didn't count it.
Okay.
That's probably the most exercise many of these people have gotten in years.
Yeah.
For sure. Not the Democrats, though.
No.
They did not stand one single time. They would not stand for lowering your taxes. They wouldn't stand for peace. They wouldn't stand for getting rid of wasteful and corrupt government spending. They wouldn't stand against like American citizens being murdered by illegal aliens. They wouldn't even stand for that. That
For
was
the
pretty
kid,
tough
the
to
little
watch.
police officer kid getting his Secret Service badge, I broke at that.
That was
I
pretty
cried
cool.
a whole bunch during this thing. I have no eye makeup on anymore.
Wow.
You guys are like boilerplate. Jocelyn Nungari's mom's face
Yeah, that
was
tough.
the first. That was the first one, and then the little police officer kid. And there was, I didn't write down one. I cried. I don't know why I'm looking at my notes, but
Is Jocelyn
yeah.
the one they renamed that park? He signed
Yeah.
that executive order and renamed the park.
Yeah.
34 some thousand acres.
In
That was pretty cool.
Galveston, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, when I say boilerplate, I'm just saying like there wasn't any major new revelations or anything. It was like kind of like I said, it was going to be like his inauguration speech, very much on script. He had a couple quips and jokes as some asides. Those are pretty funny. I did like how he actually called out the Democrats and put them on the spot right at the beginning because he knew they weren't going to stand for anything. He's
Chip
like,
Roy trying to get in there again. Sorry.
no, it's okay.
Look at him.
Jeez.
What a cuck.
Hey, sorry, John. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I thought it was pretty brilliant of him to put that in the very beginning of the speech. Like, can't we just all unite around all the good stuff I'm going to talk about here, knowing they weren't going to stand for a single thing?
Yeah.
But anyway, somebody else go ahead and analyze.
So he did say, I'm looking back through because there was a couple things that he announced. He talked I think my favorite moment of this thing was when he said repeal the CHIPS Act, because that is a sacred cow for them. It's one of their biggest pieces of legislation. They booed when he said it, but he's like, we don't need it. The CHIPS Act is paying these companies. They take the money. They don't build anything. And we're not paying them anything for the investment deals that are coming into the U.S. right now. They're coming in because they want to avoid the tariffs, and there's going to be substantial upside for them. And we don't need the CHIPS Act. I hope they do repeal it. That was such a slap in the face to them, though. I loved it.
Yeah.
He said he was going to be focusing more on foster care. What else did he announce? He announced that wildlife refuge name.
I thought the biggest, like, okay, if we're talking like revelations or anything, and this is probably just totally him misspeaking a little bit, but he's talking about the Iron Dome, like defending our nation with this new technology of the Iron Dome, but he called it the Golden Dome. Yep. And that is a definite upgrade from Iron, if you ask me. Our dome just got that much better with the speech.
I actually don't know if that was if he was misspeaking, because one thing that I've noticed when he talks about Ukraine is he always talks about every time the golden domes in Ukraine. He says the golden domes are falling down. And I went and looked, and Ukraine does have golden domes at their churches. Most notably, I think it's St. Michael's in Kiev. Kiev has not been bombed. So no golden domes, as far as I can tell, have been destroyed. But Trump over and over and over again talks about the golden domes falling down. People have alluded to that potentially talking about like the Epstein Island golden dome. But I don't know. I think that was intentional. It is interesting, though.
Just FYI, it's pronounced Kiev.
Kiev. Gotcha.
But the executive order is clearly, it says Iron Dome. I don't even think the word golden is in here once, not even once. So
that is interesting. Notable. That's notable.
Yeah. Anyway,
he declared that they're going to pursue the death penalty for anyone that murders a police officer. He also said he's going to be asking Congress to pursue a new crime bill. To thunderous boos from the Democrats who love crime.
Yeah, I have a list of stuff. He started out talking about the American dream. I wrote throbbing American dream because he had a bunch of adjectives, and I just thought throbbing was the most fitting. Talking about diseases, appeals to unity. then deregulation, English stuff, renaming things, Gulf of America, Mount McKinley. Went to the DEI stuff. Common sense. He hammered Biden on egg prices. Oh, we didn't even talk about what about Al Green getting thrown out? That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was
I
hilarious.
mean, he went in there trying to get thrown out.
I know, but they actually threw him out, and that was awesome. I wish they threw out more people.
Dude, did he just kind of walk past Una Banuna Paluna?
No, I think that was
That was Obert right there.
Hubert, yeah.
No. Una Paluna was standing right next to her.
Yeah, there she is. Yeah. Just saw her.
Go back like 30
there
seconds.
She is right there. She's pulling her purse over her shoulder.
Yeah, right here. Watch. He kind of like.
Is he snub her?
It's going to be in a second. No,
Who's this?
I don't know if he snubs her, but
who's this? Is this
It's not Jenna Ellis. I don't think.
Oh, okay. Dang it.
But it might be. I mean, maybe it is.
Definitely not.
That's not Jenna Ellis.
That's not Jenna.
No.
That's
I don't know
definitely
who
not
that
Jenna.
is.
I'm glad you knew what I was thinking with that.
I did. I thought the same.
Is that Florida Congress lady?
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought so this thing is such a ridiculous farce in general, and the standing up and the sitting down is so stupid. All of this is for show. The Democrats bring in these ridiculous little plates that they made out of, or these little signs that they made out of like paper plates with those little tongue depressors. Yeah, they just put some like Elmer's glue on there, and they made their little signs that say "Save Medicaid" and Elon Musk is lying and false. Yeah. It's all so pathetic. The optics are the entire game here. And I think it was just so great that Donald Trump, like right from the top, went and just ripped them. There's Una Panuna right there.
Yeah.
Went and ripped them and made it impossible for any of their optic stuff to work by actually trying to be, friendly and like extend an olive branch and say, why don't we just all come together and celebrate all these big American wins together? And he said they're not going to stand and cheer no matter what. And they sat there silent with their classless, retarded little signs, trying to make a big deal about it, trying to get in his head or something, as if you can get in this guy's head. It was just all so absurd. I mean, tomorrow it's just going to be all headlines about the powerful statements they made with their pink jackets and the resist shirts. They'd strip their clothes off and walk out in the resist shirt, their little signs, Al Green. Oh, powerful statement. I bet we're just going to hear that.
Yeah, but
right.
His popularity is improving. And it didn't need to improve anyway, right? He won the popular vote, won the electoral college. I love the way that he came out with that too, just recapping all of their losses for them. It was delightful. But the things that he's doing are popular with the American people. We can debate how real or fake any of it is all day long, but the message, the narrative of what Trump is doing is popular with the American people. I think this looked really petty and really small, and people will be left with a taste in their mouth of these are not serious people. No. This isn't a serious endeavor. And I think that's fantastic because they're not serious people.
Did he mention something about the budget? Because I got up to pee a couple times and I might have missed something. I don't remember him talking about the budget or Mike Johnson's package.
He didn't mention Mike Johnson's package in so many words, but he did talk about various things that he wanted in the budget and said that they should pass it. Or maybe that was a separate bill, but I think that he was encouraging them to pass it and send it to him.
They were, okay. Because he said that a few times.
Yeah, I didn't explicitly hear him talk about the budget. He did ask for a separate funding package. So Mike Johnson is going to have a second package. John.
Isn't that illegal or something?
But I know,
not these days.
He did weave.
I thought we're getting rid of that stuff.
This.
Well, I mean, he called out Pocahontas. That was a great moment when he just, he did like the Trumpomania thing. But I mean, to your point,
that as a good sport.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, Ash, I think that I've kind of been saying this for a while that I think the Democrat Party is just dead. I mean, it's like it's a lifeless corpse, and it's like like a lot of the Republicans, like Chip Roy, kind of come in and just beat it just for the sake of their own bravado. But I kind of think that the real enemy that we have to worry about are the people that are infiltrating the movement and trying to like steer us back towards the uniparty, right?
I think we have a lot of people to worry about. I don't know that it's just that group. The separate set of funding was the border. He was asking for a specific bill on the border to fund what they need, and they had Kristi Noem nodding very seriously. So he was saying that.
I think we're I forgot about the damn rebuttal.
CanCon just dropped in the chat that Trump mentioned that they had to balance the budget, and so that's what it was.
Yeah. They don't even need to pass a spending bill if you balance the budget. Get rid of all the other stuff. Shut the government down. Who cares? See it.
Yeah, works for me.
Talked about Greenland again. Talked about Panama Canal. That was interesting because he's like, an American company bought the rights to these two ports in the Panama Canal. That American company was BlackRock. That happened today.
That is interesting. I liked how he mentioned the Greenland thing because he wasn't like, I want to buy Greenland. He was like, we support you in your effort for sovereignty. And if you so choose to join the United States, we will gladly accept you as the 51st state, which is technically wrong because I thought Canada was the 51st state.
Yeah, I think they lost their chance.
We don't want Canada.
We don't want them anymore.
Yeah, we don't need their maple syrup. 60% of their exports of maple syrup come to the United States. That's crazy. We buy way too much.
Alyssa Slockton. This is Wiener Spook. She's a former CIA analyst, and
here we go.
She is the heiress to the hot dog fortune.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alyssa Slotkin. I'm honored to have the opportunity to speak tonight.
Audio's terrible.
It's late, so I promise to be a lot shorter than what you just watched. I won't take it personally if you've never heard of me. I'm the new senator from the great state of Michigan, where I grew up. I've been in public service my entire life because I happened to be in New York City on 9/11 when the Twin Towers came down. Before the smoke cleared, I knew I wanted to make a life in national security. I was recruited by the CIA and did 3 tours in Iraq alongside the military. In between, I worked at the White House under President Bush and President Obama, 2 very different leaders who both believed that America is exceptional. You can find that same sense of patriotism here in Wyandotte, Michigan, where I'm speaking from tonight. It's a working class town just south of Detroit. President Trump and I both won here in November. It might not seem like it, but plenty of places like this still exist across the United States. Places where people believe that if you work hard and play by the rules, you should do well and your kids should do better. It reminds me of how I grew up. My dad was a lifelong Republican, my mom a lifelong Democrat, but it was never a big deal because we had shared values that were bigger than any one party. We just went through another fraught election season. Americans made it clear that prices are too high and that the government needs to be more responsive to their needs. America wants change, but there's a responsible way to make change and a reckless way. And we can make that change without forgetting who we are as a country and as a democracy. So that's what I'm going to lay out tonight. Because whether you're from Wyandotte or Wichita, most Americans share 3 core beliefs: that the middle class is the engine of our country, that strong national security protects us from harm, and that our democracy, no matter how messy, is unparalleled and worth fighting for. Let's start with the economy. Michigan literally invented the middle class, the revolutionary idea that you could work at an auto plant and afford the car you were building. That's the American dream. And in order to expand and protect the middle class, we have to do a few basic things. We need to bring down the price of things we spend the most money on: groceries, housing, healthcare. We need to make more things in America with good-paying union jobs and bring our supply chains back home from places like China. We need to give American businesses the certainty they need to invest and create the jobs of the future. And we need a tax system that's fair for people who don't happen to make $1 billion. Look, the president talked a big game on the economy, but it's always important to read the fine print. So, do his plans actually help Americans get ahead? Not even close. President Trump is trying to deliver an unprecedented giveaway to his billionaire friends. He's on the hunt to find trillions of dollars to pass along to the wealthiest in America. And to do that, he's going to make you pay in every part of your life. Grocery and home prices are going up, not down, and he hasn't laid out a credible plan to deal with either of those. His tariffs on allies like Canada will raise prices on energy, lumber, and cars, and start a trade war that will hurt manufacturing and farmers. Your premiums and prescriptions will cost more because the math on his proposals doesn't work without going after your health care. Meanwhile, for those keeping score, the national debt is going up, not down. And if he's not careful, he could walk us right into a recession. And one more thing. In order to pay for his plan, he could very well come after your retirement, the Social Security, Medicare, and VA benefits you worked your whole life to earn. The president claims he won't, but Elon Musk just called Social Security the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time. While we're on the subject of Elon Musk, is there anyone in America who is comfortable with him and his gang of 20-year-olds using their own computer servers to poke through your tax returns, your health information, and your bank accounts? No oversight, no protections against cyber attack, no guardrails on what they do with your private data. We need a more efficient government. You want to cut waste? I'll help you do it. But change doesn't need to be chaotic or make us less safe. The mindless firing of people who work to protect our nuclear weapons, keep our planes from crashing, and conduct the research that finds the cure for cancer, only to rehire them 2 days later, no CEO in America could do that without being summarily fired. Okay, so we've talked about economic security. How about national security? Let's start with the border. As someone who spent my whole career protecting our homeland, every country deserves to know who and what is coming across its border, period. Democrats and Republicans should all be for that. But securing the border without actually fixing our broken immigration system is dealing with the symptom and not the disease. America is a nation of immigrants. We need a functional system keyed to the needs of our economy that allows vetted people to come and work here legally. So I look forward to the president's plan on that. Because here's the thing, today's world is deeply interconnected. Migration, cyber threats, AI, environmental destruction, terrorism. One nation cannot face these issues alone. We need friends in all corners, and our safety depends on it. President Trump loves to say peace through strength. That's actually a line he stole from Ronald Reagan. But let me tell you, after the spectacle that just took place in the Oval Office last week, Reagan must be rolling in his grave. We all want an end to the war in Ukraine, but Reagan understood that true strength required America to combine our military and economic might with moral clarity. And that scene in the Oval Office wasn't just a bad episode of reality TV. It summed up Trump's whole approach to the world. He believes in cozying up to dictators like Vladimir Putin and kicking our friends like the Canadians in the teeth. He sees American leadership as merely a series of real estate transactions. As a Cold War kid, I'm thankful it was Reagan and not Trump in office in the 1980s. Trump would have lost us the Cold War. Donald Trump's actions suggest that in his heart, he doesn't believe we're an exceptional nation. He clearly doesn't think we should lead the world. Look, America is not perfect, but I stand with the majority of Americans who believe we are still exceptional, unparalleled. And I would rather have American leadership over Chinese or Russian leadership any day of the week. Because for generations, America has offered something better. Our security and our prosperity, yes, but our democracy, our very system of government, has been the aspiration of the world. And right now, it's at risk.
Did we
You guys
lose
hear
it?
me?
Yeah, did we lose the feed?
Yeah. Apparently. I'm
Hmm.
getting like a bad Wi-Fi signal, but
That's wild. And
not even
I
on
mean,
Wi-Fi.
the Rumble feed that I see is like the viewers are disappearing, which usually only happens like that when it drops out. Maybe
Apparently
the
it's back
people in the
in.
chat, if you guys can see us, put a 1 up. Some people are saying 5-5, so maybe we are in there.
I don't know why it would have.
Yeah, they say that they can see us, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
okay.
Ones,
Guess we're in
all
there.
ones.
Okay, so can we get the feedback? I mean, this speech is pointless to listen to.
Do we
Yeah.
have to?
These people
don't
don't
have
say
to.
anything, you know, these are
No.
just talking points that are going to help create headlines for tomorrow. They've already focus grouped what headlines they need to run in response to Trump. And they're going to say that there were powerful statements in the room and that Alyssa Slotkin said XYZ about in response to Trump. And all of these were things that the American people really wanted to hear, and blah, blah, blah. Voters in the middle, independent voters in swing states, blah, blah, blah.
Did you
I think
notice
they're
that
gonna-
she turned? Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
She turned her accent on when she started talking about Michigan. Did you guys know that?
Yep.
What kind of accent
Oh.
does Michigan have?
Sort
The,
of, sort of
the
like yours.
Michigander one. It's kind of like yours. Yeah, you probably wouldn't hear
Oh.
it as much.
How dare you? How dare both of you? I think they're going to capitalize on, like, the left, the media, whatever, on the prices, because the tariffs are going into effect today. They've been hammering on the egg prices, and then the coordinated 25 different videos of every one of those Democrats like reading the script. Did you guys see that today? Where they all like read the thing, they all sat down, and then they read more of the thing, and it was all about the prices that Trump didn't lower yet with the magic
Yeah,
wand.
it's very
so-
dangerous to our democracy.
It
Well,
is.
they probably believe that they were able to get us to disseminate their messaging broadly. I mean, these people are clueless, but the entire time since November 5th, they've been telling the American public, trying to just hammer the message in, that the reason Donald Trump was elected in that fake election was because Americans wanted their prices to come down. Over and over again, they're concerned about the price of eggs. They're concerned about the price of eggs. So stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Notable facts about this woman. Her family, her grandfather's from Minsk. You probably heard about the Minsk agreement from Belarus.
Minsk?
Yeah. She said that she did 3 tours in Iraq, not in the military, but in the CIA.
Yep.
And
3
that
CIA
means,
tours? They do
That's what she
tours for the
said.
CIA?
yeah, she said she
Every
did-
time she speaks, she tells you she's in the CIA. It's a terrible idea because there's
Yep.
nothing less trustworthy than the CIA, but every time she speaks.
By the way, this is exactly what Abigail Spanberger did when she first ran for office in 2018, and then
No
she
idea who
won
that
again in
is.
2020. Yeah, so it's like now she's running for the governor of Virginia. But 3 tours in Iraq means that, as far as my understanding, she was basically against the U.S. military. She was organizing the people who were fighting ISIS, who was fighting the U.S. military. Because I view the whole conflict in the Middle East as the U.S. military versus the CIA. That's like pretty much like their proxies. That's really interesting to me.
Wonder where she was at during Benghazi.
That's a good question.
I bet she wouldn't tell you if you asked her, though.
Probably not.
Did Trump announce the capture of the Abbey Gate bomber?
Yes, he did.
Do not remember that.
Said that they are on the way. He's on the way here. They have apprehended the culprit, and he is on his way here, meaning the U.S., to face justice. And Pakistan helped.
What extraordinary timing that an event 3.5 years ago wrapped up just on this very day.
It's pretty wild, man. I wonder when we get our equipment back, the billions in military equipment.
Base Taliban is using that to protect Afghanistan from people who might want to start an opium trade.
You mean they're using them to host parades weekly? I see
Right.
new parades every week.
Yep, and they're
Talibros.
Yeah.
And they're, what do they call them? Pedal boating or something?
Yeah, are you talking
Motor
about
boating?
the pictures of them on the paddle boats with the RPGs?
Yeah.
I've seen the rollerblades. Isn't that them too? The
Oh, no,
rollerbladers?
I have to show you this picture. This is one of the funniest pictures of the Taliban.
I think the only thing I got that we haven't discussed already was the autism thing. We've gone from 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 36, and Bobby, you've got to fix it. Good luck.
Yeah, that was that executive order that he signed. and that random like truth post that everybody was decoding when he was clearly just reading the executive order he was about to issue the next day. But anyway, I'm very excited. I've never heard somebody say this is the funniest picture of the Taliban before, so I'm very curious what you're going to show us here.
There's a bunch of funny Taliban pictures.
Yeah, the
I've never heard
Taliban
anybody say it.
they actually have a pretty good sense of humor from what the anecdotes that I've heard. They seem to have a pretty good sense of humor. Self-awareness is very important.
Do you hear what you say sometimes?
After 2021, when they started calling people like us terrorists, it made me reconsider what I believed the word terrorist meant.
That's such a good point.
It's a great point.
It's a great point.
Okay,
Maybe we're all Talibros.
Yeah.
In some way or another.
Taliban apologists.
Wait till you see the picture. What's happening over there, Ghost?
So these are. I actually have something better than a video. A video.
Oh my god! This is their navy. This is the Taliban navy.
No, this is like after they went out after they retook control of Afghanistan. They went out and they did like a day on the lake with like RPGs and
financial success doesn't mean you have to have a private chauffeur. Own a collection of exotic vehicles.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, let's get full screen on that. There we are.
No way.
Yeah, that's what's up, dude. They should invite Rocket Man down there for a trip out on those.
Which one's Rocket Man?
Kim Jong-un.
Oh,
Kim Jong-un. Yeah, that would be pretty great.
You got Ukraine colored boat over there.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find the.
Isn't it weird that so many of the Democrat communists wore blue and yellow ties and scarves and whatnot?
It's not that weird considering like a year or two ago they were all decked out in that with flags. They had like a spliced American Ukrainian flag and everything.
Yeah, which is a violation of the flag code.
The flag code? Were you making fun of how I said flag?
I was not. I just really love the way that you say the word flag.
Okay.
This is a picture that will live in infamy.
The picture of the flag that you're talking about with the half Ukrainian, half American, they should have been put in prison for that.
This is so funny.
I mean, that's better comedy than anything that Hollywood's put out in ages.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do they number these for the Taliban? Like,
you gotta keep track of your inventory.
Taliban party of 4. We're gonna put you guys in Dove 41.
Yeah. I mean, number one, the fact that Afghanistan has a lake with swan paddle boats is that's a huge plot twist. But the fact, but then that the Taliban went there and they organized and they all get on these boats for a photo shoot with an RPG.
Did they shoot it off?
I don't know. I mean, if they did, I hope they got a video of it. But I mean, this is good stuff. This
is good stuff.
Yeah,
totally off topic, but that's okay. We should probably read the rants and get everybody over to Eye of the Storm, though. And we have a lot of bunka clips to play based on the rants I've seen come through. So for those who missed it at the very beginning, we said anytime we get $10 or higher rant mentioning Anna Paulina Luna, we were going to play the, I don't even know how to say it, bunka?
Una Panuna.
Una Panuna bunka. And boy, do we have lots of rants just like that. So let's start going through these. Tom Terrific with a bunka. You're literally going to do this 100 times. By the way, hit that thumbs up, everybody. If you want to, the Eye of the Storm is already live. You can go check them out. We'll raid afterwards. And then, yeah, okay. Valseco, that's an APL, but that's not $10. So I cannot. We had a verbal contract. You did not live up to your end. Me 53 for $10. That's a good one. I might start doing these 2 at a time. Jay Ducci, the J6ers walked that line in a more orderly fashion than the deep state criminals. Like that. P. Dwyer for $100. Gart Drink Fund. Nice.
We'll take it.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Chevy Tahoe 24 for an APL. I don't see one for a little while, so that's a good.
We're probably going to have to cut off the time too. Like, if you didn't get your Una Panuna in, it's probably over.
Yeah, I think that was probably the last one for a while because the rest of these.
Yeah, but I'm just saying we can't like stay here all night just playing that.
Just doing Una Panunas.
Well, we're in America, Chris. We can do whatever the hell we want.
That's
We
true. It's
technically
also
can,
an
but we're not
incredible
going
way
to.
to be earning money, but
Actually, last night people were doing Rumble rants to J Treat and I, saying, "Hey, make up a drink when y'all go to Vegas. We should make up a drink, like get a bartender who's really good. Call it the Una Panuna." I
think Chris gets to make whatever that drink is.
thank you for deferring to me. That's not necessary. But the song that Buttwheat is mispronouncing there is, I guess, Una Paloma Blanca, which is like one white dove. But there's also a Paloma drink, which is like tequila and grapefruit and soda, or tequila and grapefruit soda. And so you can order Palomas in almost any bar. And so you just get them to make it with a Blanco silver tequila and you're golden.
Done.
So it's really just a Paloma with silver tequila.
Okay, done.
Well, from this point forward, for the Una Panuna video, it's got to be a much higher rant amount since we don't have all night. We'll say like $50 from this point forward. B1876 Tim Scott reminds me of Handyman. Interesting. Jay Ducci, Crockett looks unbelievable. Speaking of Jasmine Crockett. Surtur 1959, I wonder how much adrenochrome is in use here. Probably lots. Lee Walden, hoping the IS Marshals joined the cufflink party. Tattoo teacher in Vegas, baby. Lucky. Looking forward. I'll see you tomorrow. Jen, talking to you. Was hoping to meet y'all in Vegas. Had to settle for virtual. Love y'all. Let's go, Luna. Yeah, guys, get your virtual tickets. Badlandsmedia.tv/events.
That's a Luna mention, gotta say.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that is.
We'll give it to her. Melindy. FYI, Jasmine Crockett has a challenger and has a link. I'll check that out. Thank you. Melindy again. Zach by far wins the travel game. I don't know about wins, but he's participating. That's for sure. Boom Diggity, $200. Giddy up. Wow. Thank you very much. Boom Diggity.
Wow. Thank you, Boom Diggity.
Emerald Dragon 1333. American Airlines sucks hard. They did the same thing to me that they did to CanCon, but at 2 a.m. the night of our flight, never using them again.
Jeez.
Patrick GBBP417. Isn't March 4th the old inauguration day? How about Trump to be 19 for 2 terms?
You know, one thing that I didn't capture, as I didn't track it from the beginning, but I heard him talk about our sovereignty 3 times. And I didn't pick up on it until about halfway through. So I'm actually curious about how many times Trump talked about our sovereignty.
I'll have to check that out. It's definitely a good point. L. Phillips, thanks for all the hot takes and keeping everything fun and informative. Thank you, L. Phillips. Meaty Ogre, love that username. Trying not to get hopes too high for tonight, as you should for all things. D. Carroll 8, this shit reminds me of a high school pep assembly, only more immature. APL, we'll give it to you. The Meerkat says, I love this cabinet and APL, by the way. I only see a couple more here. Dirk McGurkin, the sum of all fears. Yes, Doug Collins was the designated survivor tonight. Betty W07, APL, love you guys. Thank you for all you do. I love how that's going to be our new rant thing.
Somehow that has to make its way to APL in real life.
Oh, it's going to get there. Don't worry.
Yeah. Madeline145, thank you for the commentary. No, she does not follow me. I'm surprised she hasn't blocked me.
No, I don't mean like follows you on X. I mean like she's following your criticism of her.
I wish she did actually follow me on X. I DM'd her twice now, like, hey, I'm like not a fan of what you're doing. Want to come on my show so I can ask you some questions about it?
I can't understand why that didn't work.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But Madeline145, thank you for the commentary. The best. Cannot wait for Virtual Guard. We cannot wait either. Boomer X63, I want to see a split screen with POTUS backstage access. I don't know if they allow that. R. Stenger, come grab at. Game of grab ass. LOL. That's definitely what it was. Wide Awake Patriot 146. I agree with Chris, Paul, and John. We need to continue to push for full truth and transparency. Nothing less will be accepted.
Based.
Love it. WTBY Free America. F. Yeah. Partisan Pig. So I'm considering going to GART in person, but I'm recent. Oh, we already read that one earlier. We do not offer a dating service yet, but if you find your own date, we do offer a marriage service.
And make sure that whoever you find is actually a woman, because it's hard to tell in Vegas.
Yes. The real Mega Mama. John, please tell Ghost that is not a haircut. LOL, JK, love me some Casper.
Apparently some guy on X said that his wife thought I was Harry Sisson, so I think I need to grow my beard back after that comment.
Oh, I can totally see it.
I can totally see that too.
So I think the beard might be coming back now.
Yeah, you should have been there all along. But I do agree. When you say you got a haircut, you literally meant you just cut one hair. It does not look much different. Camel Hat Guy, there are plenty of rental wives in Vegas. I wouldn't know. Heather Z. Crafty Fox, hoping for big booms, but keeping expectations tempered and expecting sparklers. That's how you do it. R. Scriv, how old are you? Question mark. Not sure who they're asking. So, but thank you for the $20. John Henry Bonzo, the colors of Mardi Gras are purple, green, and gold. Purple represents justice. Green represents faith. Gold represents power.
Nice.
L. Phillips, burning while urinating isn't normal. Fixing your country is extra normal. Love it.
Sage advice.
Tommy McCallum, when is GART? My wife has never been to Las Vegas, but we have little kids. Let's get a babysitter there so they learn young. We do not provide a babysitting service at GART either. It's hard enough babysitting the attendees. We don't want to do that with the kids as well, but
it's aggressive.
You should come. You should definitely come. We would love to have you. But take a look at our website, badlandsmedia.tv/events. We have future GARTs there as well. We have 4 a year typically.
And virtual tickets. Get your virtual tickets and hang out with us.
Yep. You'll get to interact and ask questions. It'll be just like you're there almost. IHNT WBD 56 with 2 of them. What a great time to be alive with Trump as POTUS. Promises made, promises kept. Debbie here, standing ovations. I say 117 count.
It could have been. I could have missed some. I got 95.
I think the 117 was, they're trying to say it was a calm thing, but
yeah,
maybe. Dirk McGurkin, popcorn. Get your red hot popcorn. Popcorn. Get it while it's hot. Popcorn. Yeah. IHNT WBD 56. Please someone throw a shoe at those foffs. Keith O'Higgins, did you guys catch when Trump walked down the aisles? He shook MTG's hand. 2 paper pamphlets were thrown at Trump, one being caught in midair. I think those were the signs the people were holding behind him as he walked by.
Wait, he caught it in midair?
No, I don't think he did.
Oh,
that would be badass if he did.
That would have been pretty badass if he had.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Rita Dotson, this might be the best thing I've ever seen. Nancy Pelosi is practically chewing her face.
Yeah, she was holding that cane like it was a fifth of whiskey.
Yeah.
She was not. She was just
fifth of ice cream too. R. Scriv, I bet those Dems are going to be paddling each other tonight with those paddles in the Senate conference rooms. Please, sir, can I have another? Love it. Either Higgins, good to see Ben Shapiro get a front row seats in the boring box. Brought to you by Bowl and Branch, promo code CONINC.
I did see on X that they were Mike Johnson's. Him and Mike Walsh were, or Matt Walsh were Mike Johnson's guests.
Wow, that's disappointing, but not really. Not
I mean, they were definitely there to see Mike Johnson's package. That I've confirmed that with my sources familiar with the matter.
Yeah, Melindy says, "Wow, new low. Can't even get a cheer. Can't even cheer a young cancer survivor." Yeah. Didn't cheer for a lot of things that were definitely worth cheering. Keith Higgins, I wonder if newly commissioned Secret Service officer DJ will get a security detail at the Small Business Administration. I see what you did there. Final demand for $20. Trump is just next level. 49 years old, never missed a State of the Union. First one to make me cry. That kid's reaction to becoming a Secret Service agent. The hug got me.
Yeah.
And we're just getting started.
That got me
the
too.
hug. The hug was just so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ghost.
I was just gonna say when he reached out to hug the Secret Service agent, that got me too.
Yeah, see, I let you guys finish that so that I could run it. He could already outperform as a Secret Service agent that woman from the assassination event.
That didn't ruin it. That made it better. What are you talking about?
How to make it better.
Also, that wasn't a State of the Union, not to be nitpicky. It was a joint address to Congress. Yeah, great. Keith Higgins, Pocahontas on the warpath, best line of the night. Yeah. Is that what he said?
Is that what he said? Did he say Pocahontas on the
No,
warpath?
I think he said Pocahontas would want to, because he would say you
Yeah.
would keep it going for another 5 years, and he goes, "Yeah, Pocahontas would want to." And she, again, I think she took it like a good sport. She had a smile on her face. She was clapping. She didn't get up and Al Green or anything. So,
Did you see the part where he said we're going to get peace in Ukraine? Isn't that great? And it panned, like the Democrats weren't clapping, the Republicans were, and then it panned to the one guy who was wearing the Ukraine tie, and he was clapping, and then he looks around and he stopped clapping, like he didn't know what to do, and then he started clapping again, like hilarious.
Surtur 1959. I'm imagining the Dems' heads exploding like the last scenes from that movie, The Kingsman, over and over and over again. Grins. I don't think I've seen that.
can we just make for the chats aware? The only reason it's not a State of the Union is because he hasn't been in office long enough.
Yeah, the first time, like the first year, in the first couple months when they get invited to speak, they just don't call it a State of the Union. I mean, it definitely is.
But it's constitutionally where it talks about the president giving the State of the Union. I think there's a time distinction in it, and that's what the distinction is.
I think we went over this on a Power Hour once, but yeah, it's technically not State of the Union.
That's a fun movie, by the way, and Story Hour did a great episode on that, Kingsman, and Casey and the Sunshine Band got stuck in my head for like a week. So,
cheers to the golden age of America and Badlands covering it, and the new Golden Dome. Can't wait to see that. Banish the shadow.
And the golden card.
Oh yeah, everything's gold. Everything is gold. Banish the shadow. POTUS mentions Zelensky's message without providing any response one way or another to it. Yeah, he broke the news that Zelensky sent a fax and wants to negotiate peace now, again, for the 5th time or something.
Yeah, 4th, I think.
The Meerkat. Type Kyiv into Google and see what comes up. It still finds Kiev. And give us one more APL. Those still here will get it and laugh our butts off. Miss Meg, official English language maybe helps leverage to get rid of funding BS Spanish in schools. I don't know. I mean, maybe if that's like, if they needed it to be codified in the law, which it's not with an executive order, Congress needs to pass it, but I don't know. I think it's just silly. He should stop dead naming our language and call it American like it really is.
100%.
Keith O'Higgins, would have been really funny if Rep Al Green got the exit music of the real Al Green, Take Me to the River, Potomac. Then Keith O'Higgins again, slotting just winked, and she said the towers came down. CIA tell program malfunction in that big agent. CJ Hurley, 1961, Neocon. Yep. Renew. Love $50. Love you all so much. Thank you for the show tonight. Blessings to you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Keith O'Higgins, every time I hear that Sluckin is a hot dog heiress, I think hot dog down a hallway. You would, Keith. John in Connecticut, the Taliban Armada. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Faith and Freedom, APL for $50. We'll give it to you. Love you guys. The final demand. Thank you, Ash, for admitting to breaking out the WL Refuge. I can't remember if it was the Rileys that broke me first, but the girl to Melania's left was just beaming the entire time. Best FLOTUS ever.
Yeah.
GRPAB can come in person one day this weekend, leaning towards Saturday. Which day has the most events? Any recommendations? Friday would have the welcome reception. Saturday will have the power hour and Zach's wedding reception party. You really can't go wrong with either.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys say?
What was the question?
Which single day is better?
If you're a night owl, if you like burning the midnight oil, you come on Saturday for the Devolution Power Hour because it extends much later in the day than Friday does. Yeah. Right?
Well, okay, so Friday's conference will be done a little later, and then the welcome reception is later. The power hour is going to be at 7:30 Vegas time. Damn. And we're going to probably be done with that by like 9-ish because Zach wants to do his wedding thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're going to come back after that because that's only going to take like half an hour, I guess. It's offsite, just a couple minutes away, real quick. So you really can't go wrong.
They're getting married late at night?
Just
I'm so confused.
At like 9-ish.
Let's just keep going.
Okay. Well, I would get your Friday ticket, and you're gonna love it so much you'll also come Saturday. That's what you should do. GRPB. Oh, sorry, I already read that one. Thankful me. 3/4/1789 was the first time that the Senate and Congress, in order to establish the government of the United States of America. Yeah, well, that's all the rants, guys. So thank you for tuning in. Hit that thumbs up. I'll see you tomorrow out in the Daily Herald at 1 p.m. Eastern.
I'll be on Badlands Daily tomorrow. It's me and Abs because Brian is traveling.
Awesome.
Yep.
Breaking anybody else want to plug anything?
Breaking history, you said?
Yep. Breaking history.
What about
I'm doing my show tomorrow, but it's not on Badlands, so that's rude to say it.
Well, we all did it, so you can do it too. Solidarity. If you want to, but you don't have to.
No. Tweeter Trash says, Chris, I love your retard finder sock account. I too thought that was Chris.
I genuinely, I would like for that to be me, but also I'm already kind of bored of it, so maybe I don't like it that much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They don't go after. It's just too easy what they do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Anyway.
It's kind of party, right? It's kind of like Republicans are all friends.
Yes.
And no,
and that's probably somebody who I would have called a retard 2 years ago, and that person would have tried to report me to Twitter.
It's probably James Lindsay.
It could be somebody like that for real.
Could be, yeah.
Like some Ron DeSantis supporter.
Anyway, okay, we're gonna get you out of here. We're gonna send you guys over to Eye of the Storm. So that's where you're getting rated to. Have a great rest of your evening, everybody. Make sure you're following us here. Hit the thumbs up. Thank you guys for joining. We'll get out of here with one more Bunka clip. Have a great rest of your night.